When you're drafting your fantasy team, do you ever wish you could handpick the best stars for your business team? If you're building your talent roster, you need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like matching, assessments, and virtual interviews. Hate waiting? Indeed's U.S. data shows that over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job. And something that I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place so easy because candidates you invite to apply through Instant Match are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than candidates who only see it in a search, according to U.S. Indeed data. So join over 3 million businesses worldwide using Indeed to hire great talent fast. Indeed knows that when you're growing your own business, you need to make every dollar count. That's why with Indeed, you only pay for quality applications that match your must-have job requirements. Visit Indeed.com/Blue Wire to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Good morning, White Sox fans. This is your Sox Machine White Sox wake-up call for Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. I'm Josh Nelson. After frigid temperatures postponed Monday's game, the Chicago White Sox and Philadelphia Phillies play 2 games on Tuesday. The first game started at 3:10 p.m. Central Time and was between Lance Lynn and Zach Wheeler. Just like in Minneapolis, Lynn had a tough start, giving up 3 runs in the first inning on 35 pitches. 2 more runs in the third inning, so it was a 5-0 deficit for the White Sox early. In the bottom of the third inning, though, the White Sox offense came alive. Singles from Lenyn Sosa, Elvis Andrus, and Andrew Benintendi loaded the bases for Luis Robert Jr. An inside-out swing by Robert was enough to bloop down the right field line for a 2 RBI double. Next was Andrew Vaughn, and he's been doing such a better job against sliders in 2023. Wheeler tried to get Vaughn to roll over on a low slider, but instead Vaughn hit a bullet to center to drive in 2 more runs. Suddenly, the White Sox were only down by 1 run. Wheeler was able to escape the third inning despite allowing 4 runs and 6 hits in that frame. Lynn, again like his last start against the Twins, recovered nicely. He got into the 6th inning on 107 pitches and was lifted for Jimmy Lambert with runners on. Lynn went 5 1/3 innings, allowed 10 hits, 5 earned runs. He walked 3 and he struck out 7. However, his season ERA is very ugly. It is currently 7.59. Lambert had to navigate out of a bases-loaded jam, but was able to do so. However, the next inning, Lambert thought he had a called strike looking against Jake Cave, but the call was missed, and Cave would eventually hit a single in that at-bat. Next up was Josh Harrison, and the old friend off the first pitch belted a 2-run homer. That missed strike call gave the Phillies an extra opportunity, and they cashed in as the Phillies were up 7-4. Harrison went 3 for 5 on the day with 4 RBI, so that's definitely an old friend revenge game for Josh Harrison. But it was bullpen time, and the White Sox, against the second worst bullpen in baseball, did not get on base for 4 innings and struck out 8 times. The White Sox lost Game 1 7-4. Game 2 and Lucas Giolito start for the White Sox against the Phillies left-hander Bailey Falter. We saw some firsts and almost firsts in the first inning. Luis Robert Jr. started the game with a leadoff walk. Then Andrew Vaughn belted a deep fly, which would have been his first home run of the season, but it landed just foul. Later in that at-bat, Vaughn would pop out. Eloy Jimenez would reach next on an infield single to set the table for Jake Burger, who was 3 for 6 against left-handed pitching, entering the game with 2 doubles and a home run. Well, Burger continues being a destroyer of all southpaws, crushing an absolute no-doubter, traveling at an exit velocity of 118.2 miles per hour, the second hardest hit ball in 2023, just behind Atlanta's Matt Olson. And his home run traveled 417 feet. His fifth home run of the season gave the White Sox an early 3-0 lead. Fun fact, Burke's home run is the hardest hit White Sox home run in the StatCast era since 2015. After the first inning, neither the Phillies or White Sox had a hit from the second inning on. Lucas Giolito had by far his best start of 2023, and we are definitely going to be talking about this start on Sox Machine Live. On 102 pitches, Giolito threw 67 strikes and went 6 hitless innings with just 1 walk. He did hit a batter, but he struck out 7. An excellent start from Lucas Giolito. Unfortunately, the pitch count was too high for Pedro Grifol to push Giolito further. Replacing Giolito was Kendall Graveman. Graveman pitched a 1-2-3 inning thanks to some nifty defense by Andrew Vaughn off a hard-hit grounder from Kyle Schwarber, and then Graveman would freeze Nicholas Castellanos for a strikeout. Elvis Andrus would have the White Sox third hit of the night in the 7th inning that advanced Jake Burger to third base after Burger's leadoff walk. With 2 outs, Lenin Sosa tried to sneak a grounder through the middle, but Trey Turner made a terrific defensive play to save a run. Aaron Bummer took over for Graveman in the 8th inning with the combined no-hitter intact. Adam Hazley replaced Eloy Jimenez in right field, which you would figure I would have made mention that Eloy Jimenez played his first defensive game in 2023, but Jimenez was not challenged defensively at all in his first start out in the outfield, so success! Brendan Marsh led off the 8th inning for Philadelphia, and naturally, Bummer allowed a double to end the no-hitter to left field. Bummer would end up getting booed by the White Sox crowd for allowing that hit. But Romy Gonzalez made a sensational diving catch to rob Alec Brom of a hit. Later in that inning, Bummer threw a wild pitch that advanced Marsh to third base, but he would end up striking out Josh Harrison. Phillies manager Rob Thompson called for JT Realmuto to pinch hit and face Bummer, and then Pedro Grifol countered that move, calling for Ronaldo Lopez to make his second 4-out save attempt in 2023. Lopez would strike out Realmuto to strand a runner on third base and keep the Phillies scoreless through 8. In the 9th inning, Lopez struck out Jake Cave on a check swing. Bryson Stott would take Lopez for a ride, but Luis Robert ran that deep fly down at the warning track. Next was Trey Turner, and on a full count, Lopez blew a 99-mile-per-hour fastball by Turner, ending the game. It's Lopez's second 4-out save of the season, his third save of the year. By far, the best pitching performance by the Chicago White Sox in the early 2023 season. A far cry and a big difference from what we have seen in the previous 17 games. The White Sox shut out the Phillies 3-0. They split the doubleheader. The White Sox are 7-11. Can the White Sox win a series? Well, that's going to be the question, as it's a quick turnaround as the Phillies and White Sox finish this series with a 1:10 p.m. Central Time start. For the Phillies, it will be Taijuan Walker making the start. He's 1-1 on the season with a 4.20 ERA with 14 strikeouts. For the White Sox, it'll be Mike Clevinger, and he's got interesting splits. Against right-handed batters, Clevinger has 10 strikeouts to just 2 walks. He's hit 2 batters and only allowed 5 hits. So 9 base runners allowed, 10 strikeouts. That's an excellent ratio. Against left-handed hitters, 4 strikeouts, 8 walks, 7 hits allowed. So 15 base runners allowed, 4 strikeouts against lefties. That's not good. Let's see if Clevinger can avoid an implosion against the Phillies left-handed batters in the rubber match. You could watch on NBC Sports Chicago or listen on ESPN 1000 AM. Down on the farm, we start in Charlotte. Sean Burke made his 2023 debut, and it did not go well. He threw 43 pitches, just 19 strikes, and he didn't make it out of the second inning as he allowed 5 runs. Burke's final line was really weird. 1 2/3 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed. It was a home run. He allowed 5 earned runs, walked 4, and struck out 2. The Knights did rally late, but ultimately fell 5-4. Zach Remillard went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Yolbert Sanchez went 2 for 4. Birmingham, the Barons improved to 3-7 as they had some good offensive performances from Duke Ellis, who went 2 for 2 with 2 walks and 3 RBIs. Taylor Snyder, who played third base for the Barons and batted leadoff, was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Winston-Salem, they played a crazy offensive game where 4 dash batters had 3+ hits. Sean Gusenberg went 4 for 5 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Wilfred Veras went 3 for 6 with a home run and 3 RBIs. DJ Gladney went 3 for 6 with 4 runs scored. The Dash ended up winning 13-8. Starting pitcher Jonathan Cannon went 6 innings pitched, 10 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, walked 2, and he struck out 5. The Dash have a good start to the season. They are 6-2. Kannapolis, the Cannonballers had a tight game going into the 8th inning when they expanded their 2-1 lead to a 4-run outburst, winning 6-1 over the Charleston River Dogs. Tim Elko went 1 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Starting pitcher Connor McCullough went 5 scoreless innings with 7 strikeouts. The Cannonballers also have a good start. They're 6-3. Around Major League Baseball, signing news. After Pablo Lopez signed his contract extension with the Minnesota Twins, the Cincinnati Reds signed flamethrower right-handed pitcher Hunter Greene to a 6-year, $53 million contract with escalators could increase up to $90 million. Greene's contract lasts until his age 29 season. Scores around Major League Baseball. The Detroit Tigers had a doubleheader sweep against the Cleveland Guardians of all teams. The Tigers held Cleveland to just 3 runs on the day as Detroit won Game 1 4-3 and won Game 2 1-0. Both games took a combined 4 hours and 13 minutes to play. The Tigers are in 3rd place. They're 7-9. Cleveland falls to 9-9 on the season. Tampa Bay improves to 15-3 on the season as they thumped the Cincinnati Reds 10-0. Tyler Walls went 4 for 5 with 2 homers for the Rays. The Miami Marlins held off the San Francisco Giants 4-2. Jazz Chisholm's 3-run homer was the difference as the Marlins are 10-8 to start the season. Baltimore starting pitcher Dean Kremer went 6 scoreless innings as the Orioles shut out the Washington Nationals 1-0. Shohei Ohtani hit his 4th home run of the season to help power the Los Angeles Angels to a 5-2 win over the New York Yankees at the Bronx. The Texas Rangers offense continues to be impressive as they put up 12 runs at Kauffman Stadium as they trounced the Kansas City Royals 12-2. The Royals are 4-14 to start the season, one of their worst starts in franchise history. The Boston Red Sox came from behind late to tie and eventually won in extra innings to beat the Minnesota Twins 5-4. The Red Sox scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 10th inning. That will do it for this White Sox wake-up call. You can follow us on Twitter. We're at Sox Machine. You can also follow me on Twitter at SoxMachine_Josh, and both those handles work for our Instagram accounts. Subscribe to the Sox Machine podcast wherever you listen to podcasts such as Spotify and Apple Music. We also upload podcast episodes into our YouTube channel, which please subscribe to at youtube.com/SoxMachine. If you enjoy our work and want more, subscribe to our Patreon to receive exclusive content and ad-free versions of the website and podcasts. Monthly plans start at $2, or you can save with an annual subscription. Sign up at patreon.com/SoxMachine. The White Sox Wake Up Call is a production of SoxMachine.com, your home for all things Chicago White Sox baseball and part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. I'm Josh Nelson. Thanks for listening.